Hello, it's Prince Easy, and well, let's get to it, right? So on the side of the agendas, those are the agendas, right? Simple and straightforward, I guess. Narrative control, okay? There are gonna be rampant miscarriages, and of course, they're gonna have to explain it away. It's not gonna be what you think. Well, one needs to just prepare psychologically, right? Because I think the damage has been dealt because people do not listen. People do not listen, and that's the issue right there. But anyway, let's move on. You know, now in the black cycles abroad, especially, it seems that they do not consider themselves Africans. Yeah? You can see it. They have some sort of, I don't know, underappreciation or even disrespect for Africans. You know, not all of them, of course, but the majority have. They feel some type of way, because they are a product of the same programming that the white people have been being fed. This false perspective about Africa, but take it from me, I have seen both worlds and there's no difference. There's no difference. And some of the black people out there might be, like, hey, saying that, maybe slavery is one of the biggest difference, but let me tell you this, it's no difference. There's something that happened to you, it happened here. And just to put things in perspective, South Africa got its independence in 1994, one of the last countries to gain independence in Africa. And I was born in 1994. Okay? So a few years back, I would have literally been born like my father, born within colonial rule. Okay, I don't know what type of stories you heard about colonial rule in Africa, but I think you should educate yourself because I sincerely believe you're ignorant about that. Okay, and why am I saying this? Of course, you might say there's a difference that, I don't know, your hands built America, but the hands of many nations built Babylon. Okay, the hands of many nations built Babylon. That's what makes Babylon. Okay, that's what literally makes Babylon. Okay, and literally it's the same thing here in Africa. Even today as we speak, slavery is very real here in Africa, but it has taken another form. Okay, another form which is unbeknown to people who are not living here in Africa because they do not see it. Okay, that's why I think there's a war going on, and even goes back to history saying that they did not actually live in Africa. Okay, those African Americans, they do not actually live in America. Actually, they said they came from the Middle East, that area there in Israel and Gaza. They came from there, then they were chased, and then they were refugees here in Africa, and then here in Africa they were taken to America. That's their story, right? That's their story, that they are not Africans. This is the type of talk we have been hearing from the northern part of Africa mostly. Yeah, it's the same story we have been hearing, but let me put things in perspective, pertaining to the future. Okay, what cannot be ignored, Okay, because this is the tricks of the devil. They tell you the truth and then they tell you half the truth. That means there's a lie in there somewhere. Okay, yes, I agree that Israel, the 12 tribes, got into a dispute and they broke into two, right? One in the north, one in the south, right? And they all had their own kings. By then, Israel was about to be decimated by the Romans, right? It was the end of the empire because the tribes did not agree upon the leader, upon the king. So what happened. Okay, but let's talk about the future, because this really is about the future, because the history is known. Okay, the history is known. But what about the future? So Ezekiel tells us about the future, right? First, it acknowledges that we will become one nation. One nation. That's fact number one. We will become one nation. Okay, upon the lands, mountains of Israel, right? Now, people might have various definition of what Israel is, but I think I've expressed exactly what I think it is. Okay, and one king shall be kingdom over all, not the two kings of the 12 tribes of Israel like it was before because of the dispute, right? And there shall be no more two nations. Okay, this is what you black folks over there in America are ignorant about, this specific paragraph here. There shall be one nation and no more two. Okay, so Judah will provide a king and will lead the 12 tribes and nothing else. There will be no two nations. I don't know, one will be installed somewhere in America like some of you think, and the other one will be installed somewhere here in Africa like some of you acknowledge. But it's amazing to me, like where do you get these things? Do you teach each other in these lies? You feed each other lies, and you are proud of those lies, and you spew those lies again, back and forth, without even knowing what you're saying. And he goes on to say that no more idols, and of course no more transgressions in our dwelling places. We will be cleaned. We'll be his people and will be our God. Okay, and David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. Okay, it goes on to insist that, of course, indeed, Israel had broken up and formed two nations of Israel. Okay, now I don't know, 7 tribes once, I don't remember specifically, but they broken up. Yeah. Okay, and David from Judah, okay, one prince will be their shepherd. Okay, and shall walk in judgment and observe my statutes. Okay, if we were in heaven, we would have no need to observe the statutes, but since we are on earth, we are in a mortal body, then we have to obey the law because our bodies are fallen. Okay, so there is a conflict. Okay, so it is talking about the earth here. Okay, so the nation of God will be gathered, like it says. The people will flow into Zion. Okay, the people will flow into Zion. Okay, and this will become the nation of God, not nations, not two kingdoms like you people like to think. So you have to look in your souls and find out what really exists in there. Why do you have or feel some type of way towards Africans? Why do you think less of us? It's that privilege, it's that privilege, that white privilege that you have, that has made you has literally crippled you. I'm sorry to say this, but if you are not prepared, you cannot survive here in Africa. You cannot survive. You're too weak spiritually and mentally. You're too weak. So wherever you go, in order to feel safe, you carry Babylon. You carry Babylon along with you. So anywhere that Babylon does not feel familiar, then you do not like that place. And it's not about what you feel or what you like. It's about the kingdom of God and you being part of it. And you need to recognize that. So I'm here again rectifying this error that has been going around, that Negroes, like those people in Africa, black Americans, are not actually Africans. Like, what? You just happen to be black, but you're not Africans. Like, what? Where do you even learn this stuff? And like, sheesh. But the Bible says the animosity continues even today. Literally it says it continues even now. That dispute between the two broken pieces of Israel. Okay, it continues even today. Okay, so I am here to tell you what God exactly wants. Not my words, I just read it to you here, right? And of course, I am that shepherd. I'm just here to do his work. Shepherd the 12 tribes, not 7, not 3, not 1, all of them. So you better get right with the program and stop believing lies from your false prophets. You just have one shepherd, and that's me and Christ, right? You have one shepherd. So my power is through him. He enables me to say this and to exercise my power literally. So we are one of the same, right? So this has to be recognized first before we even proceed, so that we can literally start building our kingdom. Okay, you can either stay over there in Babylon, it's your choice, or you can come to Zion. It's a simple thing. Okay, come to Zion and be in Zion. Okay, because now Zion is going through the little season where the devil is rampant and doing all of these bizarre things. Now you do not want to feel that trouble or some type of way, but now is the time to exodus. Just like when the Pharaoh was told to let go of the people. It was in time of trouble for them, right? So times of trouble will be repaid. The same things that are happening here will happen over there, and it will be bad. Let me tell you that. It will be bad. Okay, all of these bioweapons that I've shown you even in this series of mine here, they will happen to you. Okay? And it will be chaotic. That's why I'm just recommending to you, just like the scripture says, it's a recommendation, it's not an order. Right? The kingdom of God does not work like that. People need to choose to love God truly, not act or just go with the flow in hopes that they'll get saved. Okay, you have to know God, and you have to profess using your mouth. Okay, so if you are not sure, you cannot say it with your mouth. So like, if that's what you all believe, then I'm doing the work of that shepherd, correcting that error that existed, and it still exists even today. So yeah, I'm up for discussion upon that if you have anything to defy what I just said. Okay. So I talked about this witch here, yeah, Rashad Jamal. I did talk about him in I don't know, one of my channels. I don't know. It was deleted. One of those African awakening gurus, and they're all about the pyramids, and they think that our salvation will come from aliens. This guy literally believes that, and he's spreading his ideology all across the black community. He's poisoning the black community. Yeah. He's poisoning the black community. And now he's involved in this scandal, and he's actually in jail right now, serving time for, I don't know, missing people, I don't know what. those false prophets, this is one of them. He literally says that he's some alien, and he's come here to save the black people. Like, what? What? Like, you can make this up. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Yeah. We talked about them coming after knives, right? And here they are. I talked about it during that Japanese Prime Minister incident. You remember it? The last one, at least. Eh? They call them zombie knife, not machete. No, zombie knife. Why is that? And they have this clown here. Says that it's late. They're out there. They're rampant. There are too many. You need to hurry up to get this zombie knives off people's hands. I mean, like, I can't even. I can't even. But hey, huh? I remember the recent news about the execution of this guy over there in Babylon. And guess what? This was 2 years ago. And this pod basically uses hydrogen. It works the same way. And it's basically a service for people to basically suicide themselves peacefully. There's a button in there and you die peacefully. Guess who made it? Home of the devil. Yeah. Like, really. And of course, they have to reinforce their angel worship. The wandering stars. That rampant miscarriage situation. People are going to have issues, man. Trust me. Vengeance is his. And of course, Babylon is saying it's not at war with these guys, but the truth is quite different. And trust me, there's going to be a lot of blood over there. Like, a lot of blood. It's going to be literally the Red Sea. Okay? But again, it's vengeance. It's God's vengeance on all of the things that they did to Israel, to the tribes of God, the 12 tribes, all of the slavery, of the murder. All of these people are responsible. So they're going to pay blood for blood. And we're not even going to lift a finger, because if we do, then it's going to come back on us. And the whole cycle begins again. Okay, that's why they want us involved in their nonsense. Like, every time a war happens, they come over here and try to buy our sympathy. And when the World War kicks off, they want our soldiers to go in there. You can literally make this up. Like, look, this is serious. This is serious. They're back to that discussion of white meat, red meat. It's all meat. Okay, it's all meat. What I'm more concerned about is the genetic makeup of the meat itself. Why don't we talk about that? Maybe that's why there are adverse effects in people today, because the quality of the meat has been compromised. This is that slavery I've been talking about. This would never happen in Babylon. Never. They're too proud. But if this was happening in Zion, I would be shocked. Okay, this cannot happen in Zion. Not today. Not today. So Babylon is Babylon. And until people wake up and attach themselves to Zion, then they will never know peace. It will be just more chaos for them. And I'm not lying to you. Okay? So the two countries that have shown me outward, their leaders, their churches have shown, even the people themselves have shown me outwards that indeed they are ready to be part of that kingdom. Just two nations, Uganda and Tanzania. Simple as that. Now, if you're not part of these nations, I don't know who do you belong to. You know, don't get me wrong. I don't hate no nation. I welcome any nation. But again, it's that outward expression of belief. Okay, that outward expression of belief. That's what I'm looking for. So this is within your hands. It's not in my hands. It's more like in your hands type of situation. So this applies to Negroes everywhere and believers of Christ everywhere. Okay? It's about to get really bad out there. It's about to get really, really bad out there. That's why I suggest you move. Okay? If you think you can prepare for what's coming, then hey, God be with you. We have been talking about this. We have been preparing about this. Yeah? Now they're saying they are God's angels, you know. Michael is coming in a spacecraft from heaven. Look at, huh? This is what that guy Rashad Jamal has been preaching. Literally, this is the same psyop. Okay, Rashad Jamal and these guys are working in tandem to destroy the 12 tribes. Okay, and it's sad to see that black people, some of them are part of it, but you know, it is what it is, you know. It just shows what's in their heart, you know, and God judge that, you know. God judge that, you know. So we shall see. Okay, but the sword, many people shall fall by the sword in these days, you know. And of course, they have disease X, and of course, they have a plan, a international plan, you know, talking that forcing of collaboration between Zion and Babylon, you know, for a common response to a crisis, a common response to a crisis, aka the new world order, right? So, like, people have to get this in their hands. Why are they doing this now? You know, it's because they see that their kingdom has broken. Okay, they see that some nations are not attached to their cause spiritually, or else they won't run. There was no need to run these operations if everybody was with the program. Okay, so this is a wink to Zion, telling you that hey, they will cause a crisis to you over there. Try to cause some sort of collaboration between the Antichrist and Zion, you know, but that's not happening. Okay, that's not happening. Okay, that's not happening. Okay, the iron rod, the iron rod is the iron rod for a very specific reason. Okay, it is a tool of war. Okay, so it's a bad idea to attack Zion. It's a terrible idea. The consequences are dire. Okay, the consequences are dire, as you will see soon. Like I said, it's within your hands. Okay, and like I told the Sudanese, you remember what I said to the Sudanese before everything escalated? I told the generals, it is in your hands. All of this is in your hands. The deception is real, yes. The situation is real, yes, but you have to look at the bigger picture. There's a human cost of life, you know. Sometimes I just wanna like whoop these people's ass, man. Like seriously. Like their disregard for human life is like mind-boggling. You know, they are too easy to war, you know, and that's coming from me, war. Like they're too easily provoked into nonsense, you know. Like too easily provoked into nonsense. If you wanna go to war, go to war. And you shall see. We shall have this conversation later on down the line, believe me. Eh? Now look at this. They done found it. You know. This is all about who is the mother of civilizations. This is just about taking credit from the African achievement and the 12 tribes, what they achieved. This is just what taking that away from them by creating these other civilizations that were directly inspired by civilizations like Egypt and others in Eastern Africa, in Northern Africa, in Southern Africa. The inspiration of Europe can be found here in Africa. You know, so we are the mothers of civilization. So this is just one of those racist situations, you know, that to make themselves feel better, you know, but it's just damage control as usual. You know, everything is just coming out conveniently, and people should be really concerned about it. You know, look at this. You know. Now they can attack. You know, if you attack, that means you have intention. So they this do. What are they saying here? Look at this. They have a dream bullet. What? Yeah. And of course, the disaster is real. You know, they're feeling the pain. Yeah, because these are not the leaders that Christ wants them to lead the church. They do not know the truth. They do not believe, so they can't be fruitful. Okay, they can't be fruitful in the church. They just cause problems. Yeah, just like this guy, just here to cause me problems. Him and all of the Babylon just here to cause us problems. And it's war. It's war of the kingdoms. That's the whole point of the New World Order. It's meant to dissolve our two kingdoms. So we have to recognize these things that they exist, you know, and it's part of a deception. And this guy is in the middle of that deception. So this is just the Good Shepherd, General Easy, signing out. I love you. Bye.